progress. The unprecedented security is also a sign of how fragile that peace remains. Dan Rivers, CNN, Belfast.
That story on Northern Ireland was in fact, the other story by Dan Rivers was in fact on Northern Ireland's checkered history. And we move to the right story. Free trade within member nations, crackdown on banking secrecy and tax avoidance are some of the major issues to dominate the G8 summit when it opens in Northern Ireland next week. Jim Bolden tells us that summit will attempt to look at a myriad of challenges facing developed countries.
What does French language television have to do with trade talks and the G8 summit? Everything, apparently. In order for summit host British Prime Minister David Cameron to announce the launch of historic free trade talks with the U.S., the groundwork is supposed to be laid at the G8. But one big stumbling block is whether Europe can keep its limits on the amount of American TV that airs in countries like France. And can France continue to subsidize local film and television it sees as a cultural imperative? There are many hurdles to even beginning these formal free trade talks.
I think the G8 will matter and will be important if you can get an agreement on free trade. I don't think many of the other issues that it will talk about matter that much.
Also on the agenda, Mr. Cameron wants to make a splash with some sort of commitment to cracking down on offshore banking secrecy by revealing the ownership of shell companies, plus agreements to tackle tax avoidance by multinational companies. But major deals are hard to come by in these meetings. The G8 has lost some of its shine to the larger G20 group, which has incorporated the likes of China, India, Brazil, South Africa, and South Korea. Another difference from previous meetings, the old G7 before Russia joined used to gather informally in big cities. It was here in 1991 that the UK hosted the G7 summit in the heart of London. Demonstrations have occasionally descended into violence, and that means the meetings are being pushed to ever more remote areas. So while London saw some minor disturbances from anti-G8 protesters in recent days, the leaders are gathering in a remote golf resort in Northern Ireland. Last time, the UK hosted it at a golf resort in remote Scotland. Over the years, the G8 summits have focused on the integration of Eastern Europe, then the financial crisis and economic turmoil. Now it's about rebuilding confidence. And of course, there's Syria, and trying to continue to find relevance for these summits, if there is anything Mr. Cameron can claim credit for as host.
And over now to sports. 2 goals on either side of half-time from Europe-based stars Abdelaziz Barada and Yunus Belhanda condemned the game to their 4th defeat in 5 World Cup qualifying outings. The Scorpions were beaten 2-0 by North African outfit Morocco in Marrakech. Abubakar Senghor reports the defeat extended the Scorpions' winless run in senior competitive games to more than 2 years.
Since the Scorpions last tasted victory in a competitive game, and the barren run continued in Marrakesh, even when a side resembled, in all of its elements, the very imprint of the team that finished the 2007 Africa Youth Championship in Congo in 3rd place, and won tutored by the affable and mild-mannered Peter Bonu Johnson. Bonu made a number of changes to a side that lost 3-0 at home to Ivory Coast, with Italy-based forward Ali Sow coming in place of the missing Modou Cissé. And the most significant of those changes saw highly rated Armed Forces FC goalkeeper Boubacar Sanyang replacing the erratic Christopher Allen. Time will tell whether this extremely gifted former Brikama United shot-stopper can replicate shades of the heroics of one of the country's finest in George Loba. He was beaten twice in Marrakesh, but he conceded to 2 of the brightest names in European football. The first was a goal crafted with inventiveness, a quick interplay between Yunus Belhanda and Abdelaziz Barada, who found space in the Gambian defense to score from inside the area with little under 3 minutes on the clock. Despite both sides having little to play in a group dominated by Ivory Coast, the match itself was played at a high tempo, with the Scorpions responding to that early setback with some neat passage of play and greater trust to their attack. Midway through the first half, the Scorpions had 2 glorious chances in quick succession, but failed to find the back of the net. First, Demba Savage failed to score when he was put clean through on goal, and minutes later, Cabo Verona striker Ali Sow contrived to miss from yards away when the Moroccan goalkeeper parried Kenny Mansari's fierce long-range drive. So much has changed about Gambian football since the Scorpions last played in Morocco. This is a side that failed to win a competitive game since beating Namibia 3-1 in a Nations Cup qualifier in Banjul, and thoughts of banishing that unenviable record was extinguished when Morocco extended their lead with a pitch of a strike from the impressive Yunus Belhanda. Gambia had a wonderful chance to reduce the deficit with a penalty after Sananyasi was brought down in the box. Up stepped Pamuru Jan, and the Gambian fullback tried and ballooned his shot in the skies, and with it the Gambia's hope of bringing an end to their more than 2-year winless streak in a competitive game. Bonu made more changes, notably the elegantly gifted Hamza Barry, replacing another of the country's emerging talents, Sleman Mare, who had a comfortable night alongside the rejuvenated Tijan Jaite. Hamza took little time to settle into his rhythm, testing the Moroccan goalkeeper with some long-range efforts, but it wasn't enough as the game petered out of the Scorpions' reach and once again condemned the side to another setback in its road to redemption after years of numerous setbacks. For Grts Sport, this is Baukar Senghor.
Anyway, we now join the Central Forecast Office for a look at the weather. We now join the Central Forecast Office for a look at the weather once again.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without season. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton. Just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Hello viewers and welcome to weather forecast. The weather today has been mild and partly cloudy in the morning, then sunny and warm in the afternoon. The satellite picture indicates convective clouds over the central part of the continent, spots along the coastline of the Gulf of Guinea states, as well as along southwestern Mali. These clouds will eventually give rain and thunderstorm over the affected areas. For tonight, we are expecting a relatively humid, partly to variably cloudy atmosphere to prevail across the entire country, with chances of slight thundery rain showers over URR. For tomorrow, we are expecting a partly cloudy atmosphere to prevail across the entire country during the early hours of the morning, then becoming warm and occasionally breezy in the afternoon. The wind flow will be westerly across the country, and the speed will be between 5 to 15 kilometers per hour. Minimum temperatures will be 23 over Banjul and the Kanifing region, 24 over the rest of the country except over URR, which is expected to record 26 degrees Celsius. Maximum temperatures will be 30 to 32 over Banjul and the Kanifing region, 34 over the West Coast region, and the rest of the country is expected to record 36 degrees Celsius. Moving on to the sea, we are expecting low tides of 0.6 meter at 9:42 in the morning and 0.5 meter at 10:33 in the evening. High tides will be 1.3 meters at 340